We sure get excited when our furry friend with 4 legs and a wagging tail comes to us for some cuddles. But how do we understand what our canine really wants? The answer is probably no. Do you want to know how dogs convey messages to humans and what their body language means? If yes, then stay tuned. Welcome back to another episode. Today, we are going to share the dog's language and what it means. People can tell what is different with their dogs, and dogs can too. The thing that matters is, while people use verbal language, canines for the most part use nonverbal communication. This nonverbal communication includes tail wagging, body movement, ear and eye position, body position, and looks. And yes, this is the part where puppy eyes come into play. Tail wagging appears to be an obvious nonverbal communication signal. If a dog's tail is wagging, the dog is cheerful. Isn't that so? Wrong. We misinterpret this sign constantly. Wagging tails means that your dog is high on emotions. The emotions can be happy, but they can be aggressive too. So how do we know what the wagging tail means? Well, it all depends on the speed and directions of the wag, and most importantly, the position of the tail. The quicker the wag, the more excited the canine is. Imagine the sort that shakes the canine's entire body. That is a happy dog. A quicker jerk like wag shows a more elevated level of excitement, and the excitement can be in a negative way too. Think about a gatekeeper canine on alert. He can be excited about attacking an intruder or a cat under the car. We never know. The direction of the wag might hold hints too. For example, a new report on tail wagging showed that canines wag more to the right when they have positive vibes on something, such as communicating with their owner. On the other hand, tails wagged more to the left when canines confronted something negative. But these aren't the only clues to determine the mood of a dog. We all know that the dog's tail does not only wag from left to right. It is sometimes pointed towards the ground or tugged under the legs. Both directions of the tail depict fear and stress within them. Whereas, if your little pup has the tail directly upwards like a flag, it means they are confident or maybe angry at something. Now, how can we know if our dog is relaxed? For that, your dog will have his tail in a neutral position. But this also relies on the breed you have. A few breeds, similar to Chow Chows, have tails that typically twist over their backs. But breeds like Italian Greyhounds have a low tail position. So on the off chance that you become familiar with your canine's neutral tail position, you will all the more rapidly understand when their feelings have changed. When it comes to a canine's hackles raised, it means the hair along their back is holding up. This phenomenon is called Pilo Erection. The fur can cushion up across the shoulders or down the back and right to the tail. It is an unmistakable sign that the dog is hyped up at something, however, not particularly in a negative way. The canine may be upset or stressed. However, there is also a possibility that they are excited or intensely interested in something. If we compare this behavior to humans, then we get goosebumps as a result of similar emotions. But how can we judge a dog's mood by its posture and not with the tail? A canine's weight distribution can reveal a great deal concerning the state of mind and goal. Consider a canine that is leaned towards the ground. That is an indication of dread or stress. The canine might be attempting something, and the stance causes it to seem more modest. In other words, it might be trying to say, "I intend no mischief." The limit of this stance is a canine that rolls onto their back, uncovering the stomach. It might seem as the dog is requesting a tummy rub, and usually it is. However, it can be an indication of pressure and nervousness. The canine might even pee a little to release stress. The contrary stance is a canine with their weight moved forward. The canine is attempting to come nearer to something. It may essentially show the canine's interest. In any case, it could also show aggressive intentions, especially matched with other forceful nonverbal communication signals like a jerking tail held high. For this situation, the canine is attempting to make himself appear bigger. We know it's a lot, but once you start understanding your dog, it gets easy to understand their body language. The next is an easy body language, the Paw Rays. In the pointing breeds like the English Setter, the Paw Rays is vital for pointing conduct where the canine shows nearby prey. However, outside of this unique circumstance, a raised paw frequently means a dog is unsure. You see, your little one has a whole language. You know how we yawn when we're tired? Well, dogs yawn when they're worried. As per Turad Rugas, creator of On Talking Terms with Dogs, canines utilize yawning to quiet themselves in stressful circumstances and to quiet others, including their owners. So she proposes yawning at your pup to give solace at stressful times like a vet visit. Lip licking is one more bit of canine nonverbal communication that individuals frequently misjudge. Very much like individuals, canines will lick their lips after a heavenly feast. However, they will also do it when they feel restless. Some of the time, the tongue flick is so fast it's difficult to spot. Your canine isn't flagging a longing to lick your face, but instead distress with a given circumstance. We should understand what and when our dog needs something, or what he is trying to convey only to keep ourselves and our surroundings safe. When a canine's temper goes up, you need to move quickly to diffuse the possible conflict. Maybe you will respond with emotions, for example saying sorry or hollering, which would add more tension to the circumstance. Instead of this, you should try to divert your canine away from the problem. That is why you also need to build a strong bond with your little one and try to learn what they want to say. If we talk about our dog's capability of understanding us, then yes, he can. We say sit, he collapses on his haunches. If we say it's time to eat, he will run to his bowl wagging his tail. Dogs may or may not understand human language, but they sure can predict our emotions from the tone of our language. If we are shouting at someone, our dog will quickly pick it up as a sign that you're angry. Are dogs the only animals that communicate in a unique and interesting way? Of course not. Researchers have proved that when a chimpanzee is under stress and aggression, he will do the most unusual thing: throwing his feces in the surroundings. If we recall the movie War for the Planet of the Apes, you might wonder if there is something more to the feces throwing reaction. It is not just a stress reaction, but also claimed to be a way of communication between chimps. The one who throws better at the target tends to have a better communication ability. It shows the heightened development in the motor cortex and the left brain hemisphere. It is the same side of the brain where the process of communication occurs. On the other hand, the tiniest creature, ants, also communicate with each other. You might have noticed them stopping and touching one another on a trail. It is because their antenna is sensitive, and they can smell and feel the other ant to recognize their family members. How cool is that? So, will you try and talk to your dog with their language? If you enjoyed this video, make sure you like it and check out more on the channel. Also, don't forget to ring that bell so you never miss an upload from us. Thanks for watching.